environment. He's got about 4,000 people behind him, wanting to put his arm towards the team in red for every decision. But it's certainly not going to be that simple. Strap in, everyone. I've got a feeling this is going to be a good one. It's Antropova to serve first. Italy in their famous blue and Türkiye in their famous red. What a din to start with, but the game is underway. Karakurt only as far as Bosio. Antropova has a swing, scores a point, and that's a decent start for Italy, a point on serve.
Well, it's nice to get a break-point start, and it does mean that Antropova can go back and have another go with this very unique serve of hers that causes all sorts of problems.
She's served aces in all the games so far. Five in total. What a good serve onto Karakurt. He's going to have another go with the tip, but Antropova gets there. The block's good, the defense even better. Oh, cross-court goes Bozzetti. And Italy with a brilliant start. They go 2-0. It was a lovely block from Kalac in the middle, but then when it popped up again, another chance for Bozzetti. Heavy angle, and Antropova reloads for a third time. Italy 2, Türkiye 0. Those boos saved exclusively for the best players.
Thought that was him.
Wasn't far off, was it?
I think most of the crowd did the same thing then as well. I think a big intake of breath, and then glad to see it go out.
Elif Sahin setting the ball for Türkiye today, but serving it that time. Antropova from outside the three. Gets a chunk of the net and misses wide.
They don't want to put too much of a load on Antropova. They need to make sure their pass is working, move the ball well, get everyone running their routes and split Türkiye's block with that, not just have to keep forcing it, but Antropova to have to deal with that kind of situation because Turkey will profit from it.
The Black Wolf roars for the first time tonight. Ibra Karakurt and Türkiye sneak into the lead. Cambi setting for Italy this evening. Oh, back-to-back blocks. They went the one way and found Karakurt. They went the other and found Kalac.
And now they find themselves 2 points down after a decent start.
Sahin. Decent service run this, picking up 3 points off it. Antropova. Oh, hole in the chest stuff. Balatin nearly got there.
Well,
Erge was brave.
Well, only that Erge needed a few seconds just to recover, but it came back to her again, and she's like, no, not getting that. This is some hit, some dig, and then just like, no, couldn't get to it.
Yeah, one jolt with a defibrillator was enough. 3-4. Karakurt. Oh, taking on the hands and winning. It's a risky game.
What's really important here for Italy is they don't let Türkiye get too far away too quickly and suddenly the set gets out of sight. You've got to be able to just be calm, play the game at your pace. So give a nice high ball in so you've got time to organise your offense. Don't get carried away in playing a quick game and getting over-revved.
Good lead. 3, that one just misses. Well watched by De Gradi. So Bonifacio gave a great interview after the game yesterday. Played very well too against Bulgaria, picked up 13 points. Vargas gets blocked, no way through. Anna Daniesi. Bonifacio. Good pass in, they go to the middle. Kalac wants a touch, don't think it was anywhere near anyone.
An overcut from Kalac.
And Italy back into the lead. It's like the third time the lead has changed hands, and we've played 11 points. So with that, Bonifacio onto the bench. The libero, Eleonora Fessino, is on. Got in nicely, De Gradi, corner to corner.
Such a great player, Alice De Gradi. Watched her play in the Italian league for Busto and playing with Cuneo. She's just a real aggressive, will go for it, but got smart hits around it as well.
Interesting to see how much she plays as well. She went down with an ankle injury a couple of days ago. It was heavily strapped up. A decent start there. Balladin looking for hands. And Italy lead by 2 again.
We'll talk about Italy not getting over-repped. Same applies for Türkiye. They've got to stay focused, do their job, not let the adrenaline get the better of them playing in front of a capacity crowd.
Karakurt offers up the free ball. Daniesi back to Karakurt again. Oh, Vargas had overcommitted. There's a net touch.
Santarelli's not overly impressed.
Some welcome that for Camby. Vargas. Oh, straight over the top of De Gradi.
And the ability she's got with the approach she comes in, she could have hit that as equally on the cross-court angle that hard as she did with the line. Lovely approach, great technique.
(7-9) Vargas.
That's a really good rotation for Türkiye with Vargas jump serving against Italy's rotation 1. They'll want to make more of that going forward. Can't allow Vargas to make errors from serve and not take advantage.
That was De Gradi serving. Vargas swinging through the block. It goes.
Ganesh just holding the block enough that Danesi can get a closed block by the time Vargas has a swing.
Andy Balladin. Drop of her. Had a little look over her shoulder there. She wasn't sure where that had dropped, but she'd done enough.
This is going to be the issue for all the middle blockers for both sides, is if they haven't read it quickly enough, getting out wide and then getting hands in front and closing the gap between them so the ball doesn't go down their own side.
It's a lovely pass and tees up Karakurt.
Just a nice high swing taking on the blocks. Could go anywhere after that.
9-11. Camby with options. Goes to Bonifacio. Recycled. Goes the same way again. Vargas.
Oh, come on! There wasn't even an approach because she didn't have one because she had the 3-meter line in the way. She's managed to avoid that and still get up and find a winner.
Melissa, we've got a mess for you to clean up. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, go on. Well, that's my job, she says.
Yeah. Oh, another block on Bonifacio. So Antropova sees some high hands and uses them to score.
Yeah, Karakurt not really aggressive enough in the block. You can see it, the hands were up, just literally up. Have a watch of her hands and what they're doing. On the left and there as targets.
More boos for Antropova. Karakurt. Often question marks over her passing, but that was tidy enough. Not as tidy as that, though, from Bozzetti.
But you know what? It's good enough because that's an Antropova serve that she's put in. They've had a swing, they couldn't quite make it, and it still was some good play from Italy to make that break point. And that's the risk that Santarelli's willing to take, having Karakurt and Vargas on court together.
Antropova goes again. She served well, and they've scored well from her serving. Karakurt the target. Vargas. Oh, there's a block touch on that. Oh, back by Antropova off a vicious swing. Third time error from Vargas. She's annoyed with herself after that one.
That's all about just holding your position in defense, because Antalya had no clue about what just happened.
Mille, this is good.
14-10.
I want to say this, okay? Don't search this part of the court, okay? First tempo is always a fake. Now I ask her to give the ball close to you. Did you see how they work? They say this way. Also Bossetti come here, okay? If you want to search the tip, it's good here, okay? And last things. If you work against Antropova, she cannot attack over you. You don't need to move too much the platform. You can work also with step for step and you work straight, okay? Let's go, guys.
We're talking to Karakurt about the block, and rightly so, saying, yeah, Antropova won't go over Karakurt. Karakurt's got a great block, but then Karakurt's got to make sure she gets across the net on her to make sure that ball does go down and doesn't get tooled.
Antropova serving. Top scorer in the match, 4 points already, all from attacks. And 4 points the difference in this first set, 14-10 after the first timeout.
Both teams still kind of testing each other out, really. We haven't seen the serving rotation of Vargas do anything to Italy's rotation one just yet. Antropova's had the best serving run of anyone so far.
Bonifacio really got hold of that. And Türkiye pick up a scrappy point, but they all count for one.
It's an important break point to get them back to within a couple.
Sahid puts that one onto De Gradi. Antropova backcourt, great libero works. Antropova can go again. Oh, tidied up. And then tipped. Chance for another break point here for Vargas!
Round of applause for Türkiye, and that's in part because Türkiye have set their block up to force Antropova to say, right, if you want to go down the line. Orge's going to dig you on the line. They did that. They then get it into transition. Vargas front row, she's not going to miss those.
Making a change in the middle. Italy. Bonifacio coming out. Yasmina Akrari coming in. Oh, what a swing from Bossetti.
Karakurt's out of position, unfortunately. She's ended up getting in front of Orge almost, instead of holding that space so that she can deal with anything going 4-4.
That will clip in the net tape. Nice and quick to Kalac in the middle.
So far for Italy, it's pretty much just serve Karakurt, see if we can get them out of system. It's not quite working though. Türkiye responding well.
(15-14), great first set. Can be set to the middle, the dig, sensational. The second ball doesn't go down though. Rare miss for Vargas. Antropova thinks there's a touch.
And there is. Balladine admits to it straight away, so she'll get a green card and get a fair play award. So we don't need to have the challenge.
And a change for Türkiye as well. To strengthen the passing unit, Aykaç comes in, libero by trade. So Karakurt will take a breather.
Türkiye happy to run with the players that they've got. They don't need Karakurt in the back row.
Oh, and Aykaç has overpassed. She was brought on to do a job, but Türkiye have got away with it. Vargas finishes the job. Italy cannot miss those chances.
I don't think there's anyone better in the world at hitting that ball on that side of the court in the front row than Vargas, no matter what kind of a block you put up against her. And she's over the top of Denesi.
It really was a chance there for Italy. And De Gradi misses, and just like that, they have the chance to go 3 up instead. It's 16-16. Italy call the timeout.
Quando abbiamo la palla non perfetta, non facciamo pallonetti, andiamo a rigiocarla forte. Solo pallonetti se la palla è bassa e non possiamo tirare forte. Se non tiriamo alle mani, recuperiamo e organizziamo di nuovo l'attacco, ok? E non regaliamo troppi palloni. Dopo questi errori più decisi all'attacco, andiamo veloce con il polso, ok? Vediamo di riuscire a mettere i primi tempi più veloci.
Well, some numbers for you to sort through there, but what they equate to is a very, very even first set, 16-16. Both teams making a change. Akrari coming into the middle for Italy. Aykaç coming into the passing unit for Karakurt. Degradi.
Well, she thinks there's a block touch. And there is, so another green card. It is limitless.
Look at that, racking up the fair play awards.
Especially as it's only the first set and we're not quite at the business end yet.
Service in short, Gunesh receives right on the net tape, but Vargas does not miss.
She really doesn't. It's ruthless from her in the front row. Sets up that cross-court angle. Antropova is nowhere near her.
What a serve. And well dealt with by Fursino.
And this is the issue for Italy on rotation one. Only Denise is in a comfortable position, but now they're in a better chance, even though Degradi doesn't like that side.
Oh, Vargas keeps it alive. Another chance. Antropova through Urge.
That's a huge side out for Italy. They were really under the cosh in this one. Oh. Vargas getting a taste of her own medicine. That's what she does to everybody else.
Urge has taken a battering in this first set, hasn't she? But hasn't taken a backward step. Baladine tips beautifully.
We just had Antropova and Denise like, we've got this, and no. As it just was like a carrot on a string. It's just so close and yet so far to them. It's so well played by Baladine.
Well, a move by Türkiye has been reciprocated by Italy here. Laria Spirito has come on to replace Degradi. She is a libero by trade. Made some great touches when she came on in a blue jersey the other day.
And the reason for this is both teams are respecting the serving quality on the other side, so they are trying to stay in system to have as many options inside out as they possibly can and try and then play some block defense.
We've got a 5-point swing here. Türkiye with 10-14 down. They're now 19-18 up. Ada Erdemli. She'll be back in red in no time. That's got off the hands by Bozzetti.
Better swing from Bozzetti. Knows he needs to be aggressive. Must be so interesting for Santarelli because he knows all of those players on the other side of the net so well, having been coaching Caneliano against them all last season and all the seasons before that.
Vargas. Ooh, is there a bit too much cut? Yes, there is. The challenge has been requested immediately by Türkiye. Well, they see Ada up on the big screen and they react. She's got some of the French team behind her. France women making history earlier today. Their first ever Volleyball Nations League win against Bulgaria. And we've got to play Türkiye in here in front of this crowd tomorrow night. It'll be an experience, to say the least.
Do you know what, though? It couldn't be a better experience because there'll be double that for the Olympics.
Yes. Yeah. One significant difference, though. They will have 20,000 on their side at the Olympics. They'll have about 0 here.
There is that.
Yeah, that's a fundamental flaw in the logic.
But still, the fact that when you're walking out into that environment, there we go. Well, the net's already moving, and that can sometimes be the way. You don't notice that net movement in the rally, and then you see it at the end, and think, oh, someone must have touched it. It was the ball earlier on.
Italy back ahead, but we are onside out. Danesi to serve. Oh, the faintest of touches by Gunesh. Antropova can find the floor, and she silences this crowd again.
She does, because she stays on the angle she set herself as well, and didn't go back to where the block was waiting for her.
She jumped in option on her. I told you, use base one.
Hey.
I am going fast. My approach is fast as well.
Hey, I speak with the second.
I'll tell you what, he's doing that because he must think that there's people watching this broadcast for Italy who are going to relay what he's saying, because he's giving tactical information to Sahib and Uzbay about what he wants them to do and what they're doing, okay, on the rotations. And he's quite clearly said, I don't want you to listen to that, because that will make its way back to the Italian team and they will use that in the match. Whether he's right or not, I suspect he probably is. He's not the best coach in the world for nothing.
Karakurt. Fed into Cambi. Good touch by Urge. Karakurt with work to do. She jousts so well. That telescopic arm.
And it's kept straight, so that's it. The ball's not going anywhere. It's not coming back because her arm's straight. And she's on the floor, so she's not going to get pushed back here. Look at that. There you go.
21-20. Game on. Antropova. Off the hands. Can Türkiye rescue this one? Vargas from outside the three. Italy saying they haven't touched this ball. Might not matter. Antropova doesn't matter. Yeah, that flung into the net. Italy claiming that that was a poor touch from Türkiye. Thankfully for them, doesn't make a difference. So they won the point anyway. They break point up here in the business end of set number one. Türkiye need a side out. They need it now. They're not going to get it though. Antropova leaves them all stood like statues. Santarelli can't believe it.
Such a good serve. It's right. Look at it. It's bisected. And that's definitely Karakurt's ball. No doubt about it. But that's the weakness that they have with her, is a passer.
23-20. Antropova. Oh, it's another heavy one. It's another ace. And Antropova is taking the first set away from Türkiye.
This is so good, because this is the one area where no one has to give you the ball. It's all up to you. It's what you can do. And that's exactly what she can do. Marvellous serve.
Penny for Baladin's thoughts. Should have had the first one. Could have had the second one. Oh, how close is that? Not close enough.
That's marginal. It was probably ended up being a ball's width out, but it looked so close.
Substitution, service substitution. Cansu Özbay coming in for Elif Sahin. So it's like for like, setter for setter. Set point. Tough ask this for Türkiye. Left-hander, change of angle, helped over the block. Another opportunity. One more time. Ooh, Antropova misses.
Again, they're just leaving her the line to say, right, if you want to go there, but you've got a small space to go into.
She's already on 10 points. Antropova, 8 attacks, 2 aces. Timeout call.
Se vuoi uscire ok, vai a 7, ok? Così apriamo un po' il muro.
se no vai a falso e la mandi a lei dentro. Ok? La palla a carte dentro così le fai la pallina questa o le fai questa, ok? Bene la copertura,
Italy 24, Türkiye 22. 2 set points saved. Cansu Ozbay. 1 point on her serve already. In for Elif Sahin. Still needs another 2. Lovely ball into Kambi. Oh, the block is gigantic. What a moment to come up with a play like that.
Instinctive block, way across the net. Kalac just makes that move, and it's so nice because her hands are up, so she's just got to get across, springing off her toes. Wonderful.
3 set points saved. Four set points saved. Cansu Ozbay with the ace. It's 24-24. What are we witnessing? Ozbay sends it on its way again. Composure required, and Tropova provides it. Oh, Urge furious with herself, but it was a massive swing.
It was, and she doesn't need to be upset with herself. She's made a great touch. She's unlucky she couldn't quite stay facing towards the net. Just make those, understand what was needed to be done and do it then the next time.
Oh, listen to this. Bozzetti serves. Ozbay sets. Vargas swings. You know the rest.
Well, whilst you're watching the replay, Santarelli having a quiet word with Ebra Karakurt about what he wants from her with his serve now.
Ebra Karakurt. It's a good serve as well. Challenges Bozzetti and Tropova! Monster block! Set point Türkiye!
What a block from Baladin. They've showed and said, right, have line, and then they've constantly taken away the cross. Antropova tries to go cross, it's denied.
Set point. They've defended 5 of them. Now they've got one of their own. The other way they go. Oh, the tip is brilliant, but so's the touch. Vargas for the set. You better believe it. Türkiye in business.
Cat and mouse. Cat and mouse. Oh, so you think you've got some set points, do you? Better think again. Oh, my days.
Italy were 24-20 up.
I think it's safe to say they turned on the Vargas.
Coaches seem to get a lot of decisions right. They take chances, and ultimately, it's up to the players. But bringing Cansu Ozbay in for Elif Sahin at 21-24 now looks inspired.
And not only that, but Santarelli knows what he's going to get from Cansu Ozbay. It's an amazing piece of defense from her. She's been left out on performance. So Sahin's got in ahead of her because Ozbay wasn't playing well enough. Ozbay's had to sit and watch the last few games, and now she's been brought in a huge match, in a huge moment, and said, yeah, this is what I'm going to do for you and the team.
You're welcome, coach. What a first set. Italy 25, Türkiye 27. Took nearly half an hour as well.
God, it seems like 3 minutes. That went in a flash.
Could be a long night, and I almost hope it is.
Well, it's the blocking, isn't it? And it's the way they set up their block that was important. To start with, Antropova was getting a few swings, but then Türkiye just tightened it up, did what the coaches asked them to do, put Orge down the line, and then the space that Antropova had to go in was no more than a foot And that's a tiny part of the court that they're allowing her to have, and say, go on, have a go at it.
So the win probability then, 2/3 in favour of Türkiye at the start of the game after winning set 1, as you'd expect. That probability has slipped a little bit more in their favour. But Italy probably did enough to win that set and will certainly feel as though they are very much in this game. But this reaction from them now, having let 4 set points slip, we're going to learn a lot about them in the opening exchanges of set number 2.
We will, and we'll also see whether or not Türkiye keep going after Bossetti, because that was their target. They just went after her, after in the same way that Italy went after Karakurt, and Karakurt's the player that passed better of those two, and Türkiye were able to get that. But I don't think they'll want to be 4 set points down again and have to do that again.
We talk a lot about emotional energy. We're just going to look at the block locations here, of which is what it is and are where they are. That's where the sets happen to be. 40, 20, 40, that equals 100, as does 36, 27, and 30. No, that doesn't. That equals 99. Where's the other 1%? Anyway, those are the block locations. But as you said, that was the difference. The emotional energy. We spend a lot of time talking about it, and whether they like to admit it or not, for the first 10 minutes, Türkiye do struggle in here. They did against Japan. Unfortunately, Japan were too good for them to overcome, and they did for a little bit against Italy as well. But now they've won the set. Do you think that's the way they can bring the heart rate down a little bit and start to play a little more focused?
Yeah, Vargas came good at the end. They need her to come good now. They just follow on from where they were.
Kalac will get us underway in the second set. Bossetti is the target. She's going to have a swing too, and she's going to get blocked. Güneş gets in on the act.
Bossetti's off to Vakifbank next season. Welcome to Türkiye.
Well, it's amazing, isn't it? Because they're going to absolutely love her here.
They will. She has got experience. She played for Galatasaray back in 2014-15 season, so she knows what it's like here in Türkiye.
Helped over by Karakurt. And again, touched by Karakurt. It is Sahin who's back on court to start the second set. Versino over to Antropova. Good block. And eventually it does come off the hands, but Italy working really hard for that point, having to.
Santarelli, he felt that there was a chance to get the point. He's disappointed and he's upset that they weren't able to. I mean, they've made a touch, they've got a transition chance, they just weren't able to take it.
Antropova. She has been Italy's best from the service line so far.
Oh, I tell you what, now this is great, because you've got Karakurt stood middle of the court. There are so much space for Antropova to serve into. We're talking a good 6 of the 9 meters she can go after and try and get Karakurt.
3 aces for Antropova. It's a relieved cheer from the capacity crowd.
To kind of put it in simple terms, Italy have got Antropova, but Türkiye have got Vargas and Karakurt from the serving line, so they just need to equal whatever Antropova does.
Vargas tries, it's a good serve, and it's a lovely attack. Akrari.
Fabulous speed from Akrari. And it's that speed that gets past the block, and then it's too quick for the defenders.
It's a better pass from Karakurt. Oh, a lovely touch over the net. Not enough to find the floor, though. But Güneş has turned up.
And that's where Güneş can have a big impact in this match. If the pass isn't good enough and she's not going to be able to get any swings, she can assert herself from blocking and also from the serving line. And also, she's a really good defender when she goes to 5.
Yeah, she is a full-court middle blocker, isn't she? Tremendously popular athlete as well. Her profile is through the roof.
She's almost got as many followers as you, hasn't she? Is it 3.7 million?
Yeah, I don't even think I've got 3.7 thousand, but I am not Türkiye's premier middle blocker, so that probably explains why.
Yeah.
4-3. Karakurt. Oh, it's so good. So good, Vargas.
We've got a battle of the blocks on both sides. Both blocks have got to be so disciplined. No reaching outside body lines. Get up, get across. And for the middles, they're under extreme time pressure to get out there and help.
It's in from Persino. Dagnesi. No joy. De Gradi. Keeps the scoreboard ticking over. Has he ever made a sign to go to a sporting event?
Oh, no.
Oh, Karakurt with the pass again. She wins the joust again, but just goes to the other side of the ball and touches the net. Yeah, if you commit to it and you don't hit the dead centre of the ball, you just...
Or what happened then was the block just said, okay, just took it away, so it was too much of a push.
Can be. Oh, Baladin over the head. If it was deliberate, it was superb, but I'm not sure it was. Big bump set. Vargas to get him out of jail. She duly obliges.
Yeah, it's a round of applause from everybody for that swing from Vargas. Have a look at the way she comes in, and then look, she's let it drift, and it's all still within the where she can absolutely snot it.
5-6. De Gradi. Oh, she's decided to cook one.
De Gradi can do the same, but it's not from the same height, and it's limited in that she can't do it in every situation because of her approach. It's nice. She's no way she could have hit the line there. Vargas could have done, but she's still a great player.
That one dropped in short onto Urge. Vargas. Oh, there was a touch on that, and Antropova just not quick enough.
It's so nice when you watch Vargas. It's always a full arm swing back and up to get off the floor, get in a great position, shoulders up to have the swing.
Karakurt. Top spinner. It's a lovely bit of libero play to feed that in, and the side out's good.
And that's, again, looking at Italy, they're keeping their lead because they're keeping their passing working, so that's helping them. They're siding out, and then they know they've got a few players they can go to cause a few issues if they keep going at Karakurt.
Karakurt. Block, one-on-one. Akrari says yes.
That's a great place to go to because the ball's coming across the setter to Karakurt. You're then looking at Karakurt, so you can't see the middle. You think the middle's there, and it's not quite linked in, so it helps the block for Italy.
First block of the day for Akrari. Service error from Lanesi. Kalac. De Gradi with the pass this time, and Antropova. Good block touch. They drifted and read that, and Vargas. Decent blocking again by Akrari. Baladin from off the net. Persino can tee up Italy, and Akrari can let it fly.
Super setting from Carlotta Cambi.
Not sure Daniela Santarelli's too happy about that.
No, he's unhappy with the setting choices, I think, for Sahin in that last rally.
Antropova. Because of her height, 2 meters and 2, she can create amazing angles from the serve, but that one finds in the net. And sometimes when it comes off the hand, immediately I think, oh, that one's in the net, but no. However, two of the best servers on the court, swap errors. Oh, it's an ace! Bozzetti picks one up on Baladin.
Late reaction from Baladin. She's a little bit unsighted, I think. Sahin was running across So he couldn't quite see what Rossetti was doing from the serve.
12-8. Urge, better pass in, opportunity for Baladin to come straight back.
Baladin not having to pass, can get out a bit quicker, the ball can be a bit quicker, and you can just see the look on her face. It's like, here it comes! She was going to take that out on Italy, having shanked the last ball. A couple of times now, Rossetti's back on her heels defending.
Oh, a reminder of glory days, of which there are plenty for a lot of these Turkish players.
Maybe more to come.
But yes, you'd be a very brave person to bet against Türkiye in any situation, wouldn't you?
You would. You just don't want them to be the Polish men's team of 2012 in that, you know, huge expectations going into the Olympics and then not following that up. They've got to manage it. That's a great block.
Yesi.
And we know it's a great block because we can hear it because it went very quiet.
14-9, timeout called.
I was smart player, girls, eh? Don't close, never, Elbra, eh? Okay, move the feet on serve, simple serve. This is perfect. We can put the ball in the seam how we study, eh? And then if there is one confusion, first of all, one defense. You have the priority to set. If you didn't, you have the priority. But I want perfect set, girls, eh? Okay, dai, we are there. Come on, dai.
You have to accept the fact that Ganesi is a world-class blocker. She is going to get out. She is going to see the situation and manage to get out and help out with the block. So attackers have to be smart. Whilst they don't see the blocker, they see that space in the first instance. They need to be intelligent enough to know it's likely to be filled. So you've got to be quite close to the outside blocker when you're trying to find the seam.
9-14. Vargas. Oh, 10-14. After set one, a 4-point lead is nothing, is it? It's just a head start to reel them in with.
That's so good.
100K, high, fast, world class. Oh, that's a world class dig as well.
I think there's going to be a touch on that one.
That's a challenge.
Oh, there is.
And an admission, Carlotta Cambi.
And that just goes to show, doesn't it? I mean, it's right in front of the ref, but it's so quick, it's so tiny. It's only the players involved in that would know.
11-14. Kira Gunesh. Farsino feeds it in. Swing from De Gradi. And Italy comes straight back.
They're really doing well of just going about the business of making these happen and then really fighting once they put the ball in. But the tactics aren't changing. They're still going to just try and find Karakurt wherever they can. And then when they don't look, they're getting this situation because players are having to cover for her.
Well, Vargas has sent that high. Will it go? Will it go? No.
Now that won't be an ace serve because there was two players able to get onto it. So it's opponent error.
A round of applause there, of course, for Ada Erdem. And Vargas scores again. Incredible to think that Türkiye can put on this level without players like Ada, able to rest her. Such is the strength and depth of the programme.
His Kalac has done a fabulous job in the absence of Ada Erdem. Looking to do a fabulous job in the absence of Sahin is Cansu Uzbak.
Well, last time this happened, it changed the set. Floated in, Cambi. And Tropova, there's a touch on that. By Ozbay, oh, what a dig by Farsino. Need to finish the job though, and De Gradi does.
She knew where the gap was, using her peripheral vision, and it's not going to be dug. So they're making a change. Vigen's coming on, Karakurt's going to go out. They want to tidy up this pass.
Tuberi Vegin coming in.
She's coming in into the front row as well.
She had a great game against Japan, picked up 19 points. In defeat, of course, and she's going to swing immediately and make an impact.
And that's exactly what you have to do. All of those you watching who spend time on the bench, coming on court, you don't get 3 or 4 points to get yourself going. When you come on, you're expected to perform, and that's exactly what's happened here.
Spirito has come in for De Gradi into the backcourt. It's Versino who receives, and Daniesi, lovely touch by Ojbai. And it's turned around by Vargas.
Vargas goes wheels up, everyone flooding in behind, all looking at the soles of her shoes as she goes up, delivers on that one.
That'd be a good thing to sponsor, wouldn't it? She gets so high. Danny Wilson, the heavyweight boxer. No, I've got that wrong. It's Danny something, it'll come to me. Another point to Türkiye, yes. He had the soles of his shoes sponsored because they thought that Mike Tyson was going to knock him out. And it would be in all the newspapers.
Well, Velasco wants to challenge this. He's not allowed. You can't challenge for invasion. He's just been informed you can.
Danny Williams, British heavyweight, that's right. 15-17, Türkiye on the comeback trail. Good watch by Versino, knows where the baseline is, and Tuba serves long.
Is it Danny Wilson? Was it the Summer of Love?
No, he's the head coach of a rugby club. Too many Dannys. Danny Williams, anyway, back to the volleyball, and these two great teams putting on a show for us. Oh, Vargas! Unplayable!
Oh, it's a lovely set as well from Ojbai because she takes it in front, flicks it behind, one-on-one. Well, it's one on no one.
Yeah. Put them on their shoulders and they wouldn't be able to block that. 18-16. And a good touch on the Antropova swing, so Vargas can go again. Versino's in there, though. Cambi out to Antropova. Too much for Türkiye.
Credit Italy, they are giving as good as they get here. The crowd is a peripheral white noise for them. It makes no difference at all. And they are making Türkiye play. They've got a good lead. Can they hang on to it? They might even extend it with Antropova serving.
Vargas has overtaken Antropova at the top of the scoring tree now, 16-14. Over on the first ball, put down by Cambi.
Well, we've got two players in this match who are unplayable in certain positions. Antropova from the serving line, Vargas in the front row.
$20 points to 16. Italy have got themselves in the driving seat again. That's a much better touch, but get it to Vargas.
Watch how she comes in, everybody, the way she drives her hips forward. Shoulder comes back, lots of space now, look at that to come into, and then reach up on the ball to get the high contact, at the same time whipping through it. She can go short, she can go long.
And here is Vargas from the service line. No aces yet. And a really good pass off a hot serve. Chucked into mid-court by Bossetti.
But against got to stand still. She was thinking about where it might go, guessing, and she's been caught out. See that movement? That movement was still going on whilst the spiker is jumping. Spiker leaves the floor, stand still. That's where you have to play from.
So De Gradi back in the game. Oh, an ace service! Bossetti! Türkiye call the timeout. They are in second set trouble.
No, can happen. But now we wake up. Oh, this is the moment to take responsibility because this ball cannot drop. There is one pass and two players look the ball in this way and the other in this way. There is this ball and we look. There is one ball deep and we look the ball. Oh, stop, because we are losing stupid ball and we are there, The difference is only there, okay? With a stupid situation. And more quality if we defense one ball. I want the ball to close the net.
At the end of the second set, Liam Sketcher is going to interview both coaches. If Türkiye are leading 2-0, that is going to be a tough chat with Julio Velasco.
It's going to be a very easy one with Santarelli, that's for sure. Once you look at, I mean, Velasco, he's so calm anyway. Nothing is facing him. Nothing really does.
Baladin. Ooh, that is close. Close, but Türkiye back to 4.
If anything, Velasco's probably thinking, this isn't my best squad. And they're giving Türkiye a real challenge here.
Baladin. Over there to De Grati, nicely done by Vargas. Tuba. Another good touch. And a joust. Comes back Italy's way. Over the head by Cambi. Another joust. Scrambled beautifully. Brilliant. But now it's Türkiye's opportunity. Helped over on the second ball. No one wants to win the point.
Oh, Santarelli's going to be unhappy that Özbay chose that, potentially. But it's worth having a go to see if people were paying attention to go over with the second touch. And Italy were paying attention. And what a play, Cambi, knowing exactly where that space was. That's a lovely set into the corner.
23-18, surely Türkiye can't do it again. First, they've got to get Akrari off the service line. And that is the first step to doing it. Güneş.
It's a tall order here for Türkiye to get back into this one. It was a tall order in the first set, to be fair, and they managed it somehow.
So Cebicioğlu coming in. Specialist server. A good first reception, a pipe attack, and a good touch by Baladin. Bumped on by Özbay, and a massive block. 3 up against Vargas.
Great triple block from Italy, really aggressive in that to try and shut down the space for Vargas to go into. And De Grati's lined it up perfectly.
Set point. That 4 last time wasn't enough. They've got 5 this time. And Cambi sends it on its way. Özbay. Thrown off the hands by Ivigin.
Little look through the net from Ivigin. To be careful of that.
There's been quite a lot of leniency on the amount of time the ball has spent in the hand throughout this week.
It's the same for both sides.
Exactly. Standard's been set, that's for sure. Cansu Özbay serving to stay in the set as she was before. 24-20. Another go for Antropova. Work to do. It's a good swing, but a decent touch. And Ivigin sends it as far as Fersinio over on the first ball. It's another set point save.
Here we go again.
Italy timeout. Shock. 24-21.
Siamo 24-21, adesso dobbiamo giocare con lucidità, e senza il braccino, senza le palette, andiamo e tiriamo, però tiriamo con criterio, mano fuori sul 2, in mezzo si è palla alta, ok? Ok? Andiamo, loro adesso si aspettano molto lei, però che la possiamo dare lo stesso.
Okay. We go again. Cansu Özbay at the service line. She's pulled off one astonishing rescue act, and she's one step into doing it again. It's a decent serve, but Fersinio can come up with the pass. Antropova wipes off the block, and the game is level. Brilliant response from the Italians after the disappointment of the first set. Brilliant control for most of that, even when Vargas was flying.
Well, if they'd have lost 5 set points then, I mean, that would have just been crushing, wouldn't it, really? So you felt that they would have had to get it done.
But it's all to play for. The best of 5 becomes a best of 3. This is the moment it was won. Brave from Antropova taking on those 2 blocks, but
you have to get it done on rotation 1 as well, which isn't easy. But look at that height. That's top of the antenna stuff.
We've got a bit longer between sets 2 and 3, which means Liam's down there.
What was interesting in that last set was the way that Italy dealt with what Türkiye were doing, and they didn't need to make that substitution. Bossetti was able to pass away out of trouble. Türkiye didn't have, and they had to get Karaka off, and then from there that makes things a little more, less chances for Türkiye to take, and middles were taken out of it completely. Look at the block, Italy an extra 1, the 4 serves, more errors from Türkiye, although they had more attacks. Italy just played a really good tactical game against them.
Yeah, the serving, the big difference, isn't it? Plenty still to come from the team in red. Okay. We're just going to take a look at the live update. It's swung now, 39% probability that Italy are going to win, 61% that Türkiye are. Let's find out what Liam Sketcher and co make of that.
Well, I'm here with Julio Velasco. 1 set apiece in this game. How much do you talk to your team about managing their emotions in an environment and a game like this?
We talk that it is the first match, but we have a lot to win and nothing to lose. In the other matches, we had a lot to lose and nothing, and little to win. So I said, enjoy. Public, everybody against us. Very nice to play in this condition. Enjoy, aggressive, focus, play. Play means not expect, wait. They do what we study, but look at the situation and react to that situation.
Sorry.
And they are doing.
And what are you happiest about with your team's performance so far?
I'm happy because we are playing. I mean, we are recognizing the situation and find the solution. This is very important to improve for the team and for each player.
Thank you very much, and best of luck for the rest of the game. Well, answers from one of the master coaches in world volleyball. We're lucky to get such insight into the game, and another excellent coach coming up in just a minute with Daniela Santarelli.
Honestly, I feel like he's volleyball's Yoda. I am so calm after listening to Julio Velasco just say a few words about his team and the expectations. He said they've got nothing to lose. Quite the opposite for Türkiye. Let's hear from Daniela Santarelli, who's with Liam Sketcher.
Thanks, Dave. Daniela, obviously the scoreboard and winning at the end of the game is the result, but how do you keep track that your team is improving and playing the way you want them to?
Okay, we can start for sure to serve a little bit better because we are so soft, have a good line of pass, but I think that we can serve better. And then second things, I think that the second set we lost for easy situation, like when they are in difficult, they put us some power tip or tip. We didn't have the quality to counter-attack in a good way. And okay, Italy is Italy, they are a good team. For sure, if we want to play against them, we need to be perfect in some easy situation. And I think that now we can maybe do better something in attack because until now our numbers are not so high.
And these difficult games, these are good for you, yes?
Don't exist easy match, in particular against Italy. I know them very, very, very well. So I already know that this group for us was difficult, but for every team.
All right, thank you very much. Well, there we go, 2 great answers just in time. Let's get back and ready for the action with Dave and Clayton.
He's got an internal clock that you just cannot switch off. It was second perfect for the whistle going. And he's absolutely right, though. 2 great volleyball minds, and how wonderful to get their insight. But ultimately, it is about these 12 players on the court, and what a show they're putting on. We saw Antropova, now we're seeing Vargas, 2 of the very, very best. And they've delivered.
And he meant, Santarelli talked about being perfect in the easy situations, and that's something that it's easy to switch off because, oh, that's an easy ball, but that's when you have to focus the hardest to make sure it's perfect, so make sure you're in the best possible situation to take advantage of it.
Well, nobody's moved since the first whistle went. It is packed to the rafters. I could barely even see the staircases. Such is the demand for people to be a part of this spectacle. It is one set apiece. Italy taking the second after Türkiye picked their pocket in the first. Here's Anna Daniesi to start the third.
That looked like a big foot fault then from Daniesi.
Oh, she's had one already. But that is not a fault from Akrari. She is right place, right time, and silences this crowd.
There will be somebody watching, well, there should be somebody watching that from the coaching staff for Türkiye for things like foot faults from the serving line, etc.
If it was, they'd call it. It's just her style. She ends up about 1.5 meters in the court.
Oh, just like that swing from Vargas.
Okay, 1-1, 1-1.
She sees that gap with her peripheral vision, and it's an easy swing for her to finish. It's so fluid.
There's a delay on the serve here, and Santarelli's whispering something in Tuba of Egin's ear. He's sent on his way by the referee. Any excuse for a chat, eh, Daniela? Vargas. Antropova, she's the one they're worried about. It's a good pass though, and allows Vargas to unload.
And that's why they've kept Ebra off for this. So what they've got now, Türkiye, now they've got the opportunity to make a double substitution in this set, so they can bring Ebra into the front row and bring Uzbay into the back row. And that will give them 9 rotations of 3 front court attackers. And that also means that they really have just tidied up their passing unit, evidenced by that last play.
Baladin into De Gradi. It's a great recovery.
Oh. I'll tell you what, just as well the advertising order was there, because that chap holding his camera was thinking this could be in pieces.
Well, Akrari really had to contort herself. I'll tell you what, she's Tommy toe poked that.
She really has given it a bit.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that, had it missed the advertising hoarding, we'd have been watching on a blooper reel. That's a nice touch from Versino. He's at De Gradi. Oh, can drop that right in the donut hole.
Into the pocket. Great disguise, because it looked like she's going to have a hard swing. You've got to see early where were the telltale signs. What does she do with her left arm? Is there anything to show with that? No, she just keeps it there. It's lovely.
Back out to Vargas. Oh, the touch is good, and we go again. Sahin back to Vargas.
Oh, if you're going to stand on that angle, I'll just go even sharper and put the tattoo in play. It's in 2-2. Great dig first time. Antropova, if she stays where she is now, but she moves back again, she stayed where she was, she'd have made another dig.
How good is that camera angle, by the way?
No, she's jumped too early for that one, expecting a quicker ball. So you've got to take your first step to attack is your timing step on these quicker plays, so you can get in sync, and then once you see the ball leave the hand, you can have 2 quick steps to go get to it.
Gunesh.
Good lead, Balsetti. They're still going after her. What might be an option is just to go in the spaces between her and her teammate and her and the sideline. They go between her and the side as well, just take her away from what's going on, make it difficult for Antropova to run a route on the 10.
Akrari, 4 points in the game so far. It's a decent serve, and Erge works hard to keep it in play. Cambi dumps it over, puts that left hand to good use.
Everybody made a move, and then the block are looking at where's the spike coming from? Where's the spike coming from? Where? Ah. You didn't see it coming from there.
Tuba Ivegin with the pass and the swing. And a touch from Camby.
I'd be surprised if we don't see Karakurt in this set come in. Great, getting the touches.
So Camby to Degradi. A little bit loose.
Just did that in the last time they were on this side of the court as well, and Bossetti's did one. You just got to be aggressive with it. It was almost in two minds about what to do with that shot. Once you commit to it, go for it, be aggressive.
Back to Degradi, a chance to make it right, but it's compound errors from Alice Degradi.
Yeah, that's neither a cross court hit or a down the line hit. Again, not committing. Now that was a product of Degradi missing twice and Camby going, I'm not going to again, and then trying to force a ball to Denesi instead of just going back to her, re-establish her. That would have been the best setting option.
Non è la palla nostra. Noi stiamo giocando, E stai con paura del muro. Sì? Con paura del muro, come no? Sì? Sì? Avevi il muro lì e hai cercato questa, poi invece di tirare in mezzo. L'altra lunga e basta. Non c'è una diagonale, non c'è niente. C'è solo non sbagliare, non prendere la murata. È così. Giochiamo, non prendiamo la murata.
You mentioned the emotion here, and it's talked about by Liam and down with Julio Velasco, and he said, well, we're just going to go and play. We've got nothing to lose, everything to win. And kind of like, what's too much emotion? And is it maybe an issue for Türkiye? And we mentioned that earlier. For Karakurt, she just plays that way. But what we notice with Türkiye is, yes, they have a celebration, but it's to each other. They're not focusing in on the crowd. The crowd will spur you on anyway.
There's a net touch there by Tuba.
The thing about volleyball is if you start celebrating the team's errors and then they stop making them, then you're in real trouble. It's about what you're celebrating is the important thing in volleyball.
Camby. Urge. Vargas. Oh my God! Oh my goodness me.
Someone check the net height.
You shouldn't be able to do that.
No, you shouldn't.
Oh, even Ada likes it.
Yeah. Volleyball royalty with a little clap. Yeah, well done.
Yeah, she's like the Roman emperor, isn't she? Whether she gives you the thumbs up or the thumbs down, that would be thumbs up. Wow. Boos for Degradi. Right on the net tape, and a chance then for Italy. Bossetti. Tuba's there, good hand on it. Urge. Vargas can only ease that over to Camby. So Fersino sets and Tropova misses, and Santarelli celebrates.
Because that swing from Vargas was as good as the one that she put a dent in the floor, because the mindset was, I'm not trying to hit a winner, I'll make it a bit tricky, we'll reset our block defense, and it's paid off big time, because then it's too close. Antropova's trying to make something happen, and Türkiye take the point.
Right, 10-8. Türkiye hitting the front a little bit quicker than they usually do. Oh, Daniesi, great cover for Fersino, outstanding. And Antropova returns the ball. Vargas, oh, they're cooking. Türkiye are cooking.
Gunesh should be saying to Sahin, you know I'm a better set than you, right? Just check that out. Look what Vargas did with that one. Definitely be chatting about it afterwards, that's for sure. This is one, look at that, that's such a good set. But again, another little adjustment, and to find the line as well from Vargas. Oh.
Picchi, picca, pacchi, picchi, picchi, buca. Dio santo.
Türkiye playing with smiles on faces. and running hot. Kalac. Oh, the groan as she misses.
The real disappointment and empathy being shown by the fans.
Vargas up to 22 points now, 21 attacks. As a decent serve from Daniesi, but Erge sends it back for Baladin to tidy up. Cambi for the pipe attack, and De Gradi finishes it off.
Sahin had made a move, but she was still moving as the swing came. Watch number 12 down the line, still moving. She's still moving as it comes through. It's a shame we can't quite see it, but it's a good swing nonetheless from Italy, attacking that area.
10-11, Daniesi again. Oh, the tip this time from Vargas. Antropova gets there. Bossetti squeezes through, and this is a bit more like it from Italy. They're level again. 3 points in a row, that is.
They're making Türkiye earn their points.
Vargas. Ooh, off the hands. There was a lot of space there, but this would drop for Italy.
It's not often you get a swing on the net like that comes off the block and goes out over the baseline.
Vargas Airlines. A one-way ticket to Spike Town, please. Casino. And this time it's Türkiye. Get hands to it. Small margins.
It is smart play as well from Italy. Bossetti's been mixing it up nicely. That's all she's looking for. She's almost fisting that one.
Guess who's at the service line?
Antropova.
Oh, Baladin forced wide.
Baladin's got this habit. She's being turned to her right by the ball. She's got to take it in front of her and just play it high to the middle.
Carnage.
Look, you see how she's been turned by it. You've got to fight this. You're not passing it, you're defending it.
13-12. Antropova. Oh, she's done it on Baladin again.
It's a different serve. I'm not sure Antropova could serve the same ball twice, ever.
Well, at the moment, she has got Hande Baladin in her pocket. And Ilkin Aydin is coming in, which is tough for Baladin because she knows why she's being replaced. But it's important that she is replaced.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Aydin as well, because I bet Antropova's going to go after her. Certainly want to get that space between her and Idigen. But that's good work. Santarelli knows then that he's changed the picture for Antropova, and it was up to Antropova to ignore that, but just go for that same area of court and not think about the person that she was going after.
Here is Ilkin Aydin. Into Cambi, and then Cambi, Akrari. Wow, just a little bit disorganised, dare we say it, big chase.
It was good cover there, we had the court well, but it's just one of those things when the ball comes off your arm, this could have come back forwards and it would have been an opportunity, but it's ended up going behind. Look, if it was in front, but all it needed was a little touch, and she tried to put too much of an arm swing on it. But the good thing is, well, this is a really good top tip. You're playing in a sweaty gym and you have got people who'll clear it up and you want to slow things down. Just go for a dive.
Yes, yeah.
Even if you get nowhere near the ball.
Yeah, if you want to breathe it.
Yeah, and if three of you do it, it's going to be quite a gap now. So it means that Türkiye can't ride off of that. They've got to refocus and reset, and there's a little bit of a breather for Italy to reset their pass unit.
A little bit of relief for the lungs. We're going at least one more set after this. As Aydin puts it into the net. Inner volleyball at Galatasaray, who are an unbelievable club, but they're in a city with Vakif Bank and Eczacıbaşı, and it's so difficult to break through that stranglehold. Good swing by Tuba.
Nice quick ball. Camby's having to stretch, she can't close her block.
Short ball in to Akrari. Just received a little bit of news about the capacity this evening. And I'm not going to announce the number because it's more than the official capacity of the stadium.
Of course it is.
Such is the demand for tickets to see this great Turkish team. Vargas, just the tip this time. Camby, Degradi, nice. Too much for Aydin to cover.
Vargas is a very smart player. She knows that that ball's too far in front to have the swing. So she's going to try and just make it a bit tricky. You can't hit winners every single time.
Booze for Akrari. Received by Tuba. She's going to swing on it too, and she's going to find clean court.
That's unmissable because the middle's done its job of keeping Denesi in the middle, so she can't get out and help.
Camby. Degradi. Oh, nice by Örge. Tuba! Daniesi! Oh, it's big.
It is big, and because there's no middle coming and it's come over this way, Denesi's like, yeah, I know where this is going and I'm ready for it. And she is a world-class blocker in those situations.
18-16, Italy. Noses in front again. Fed back in. Nice ball. Vargas really misses. Camby. Oh, and Örge gets there. This is good cover. Oh, Vargas leaves it short.
Well, they switched their block, Türkiye. They put Vargas over on the other side to try and deal with Antropova having a spike, but then it ended up with Antropova having to deal with Vargas.
Spirito in for Degradi. On to serve. Italy in a good spot here. Break point up. That serve has come from deep, and Aydin with the first touch, and Vargas with the last.
Even when that was behind her, then she's hit that harder than some people can if they're right over the top of the ball. That's just incredible.
18-19, Italy needs to keep siding out, and Antropova does exactly that. It's incredible, isn't it? A brilliant play from a brilliant player, just greeted with absolute silence.
Utter respect.
Yes.
Well, you're going to, aren't you? Just like, for the crowd, I hope he just doesn't keep doing it.
Good service, a little bit of carnage. Daniesi perhaps won't be registered as an ace, but is a valuable point on serve, and Türkiye call the timeout. It's 21-18.
First of all, the pit and then bagger, okay? Because the serve is not strong, okay? Remember, with perfect pass is so good, the strong attack, but with the scamati pass, the middle arrive, so we cannot close on her. We need to attack always high like this. I like so much, but not close the shot. Let's go, girls, we are there, one side out, come on.
It's quite a big swing points-wise from the second time out to the third. Italy 13 points, Türkiye 6. Not sure that scarf's going to fit him, but a scarf is the last thing you need in here. It's absolutely boiling. Maybe some branded fans.
Just keep waving the flags, get the air moving.
Right, 21-18. Daniesi. Another float serve. Better pass this time, but the swing far from ideal. Return on the first ball. Here comes Vargas.
Oh, wow. The only players I've seen do that kind of stuff in the men's game, Wallasey is able to do that because of his unique approach as an opposite. There aren't hardly anybody else who can do that.
Service into the net, and Antropova. Straight on Vargas, who gets a good touch. Aydin off the hands. It's swept up by Cambi, and over to Antropova, who executes a pretty tasty angle herself.
Yeah. Well, he's certainly trying to command things here for Türkiye.
Antropova, 22-19. Into the net. What was Julio Velasco up to there?
I think he spilled his water. No, he didn't spill his water. I think the players did, but he was quick to. I mean, that's great. He's like, yeah, some water there. I'll get that. It's all good.
(2022). Türkiye pick up a point on serve here. This is where it gets interesting. Oh, they just might, you know, Fersino. Oh, that's so good from Urge. Point on, Cambi. Antropova, beautiful, beautiful winner.
I think there was a bit of hesitation from Vargas because that ball's clipped the net. She wasn't sure whether it clipped Gunesh on the way through. And then it was like, do I get in the way? Do I get out of the way? That's a big point for Italy.
Changes reversed, so De Gradi back on. Here comes trouble. It's the double substitution. Vargas and Sahin out. Karakurt returning, rested and ready. Into the front court. Norsby will set. Bozzetti will serve. First touch by Urge, a good one. Karakurt. Welcome back to the game. Fersino digs. Decent block. Antropova. Urge. Orzbay. And the tip, that's all it is from Tuba. De Gradi! Monster block!
The Libros for both of these teams are playing incredible defense.
Gunesh has picked up a couple of blocks. That one is timely. What's her serve going to be like? To the middle they go, and Akrari brings Italy to a set point. It was fast, it was clinical. They've got 3 goes at it, the Italians.
Lotta Cambi with a superb set off the net to get it back where it could be put away.
Overpass, put down by the captain. Daniesi makes it Italy 2, Türkiye 1, and there is a stunned silence here in Antalya.
It's worth pointing out as well, for those that aren't quite aware, Italy haven't qualified for Paris, so they need good results. And this would be a huge one.
Yes. Yes,
which is why Velasco was saying, like, this is one of those games where, given it's week 1, they literally haven't got anything to lose. So they've got a couple of sets. That's going to be great for them anyway. So they do lose. They won't lose many points, as it were, in the world ranking.
With that in mind, when he publicly says we've got nothing to lose, that's nonsense, isn't it?
No, because I think if he brought, you can nod at me all you like, Rogers. If he brought Igonu and everybody else and Far, then yeah, fair enough. That's an even. But when you're bringing an understrength side against Türkiye's top team, bar one, then you're not expecting. If you come to that thinking you're going to win, I think that's a little bit presumptuous, or even bordering on arrogance with that, to say that our league must be that good. It's not. So I think he's made a fair point, but I think quietly knows they're really good players.
Oh, of course they are. Of course they are. You think about the quality that we're lucky enough to see every week in the Italian league. Every team has got world-class players, and world-class players of Italian heritage. Of course they're going to be able to pick 2 or 3 really powerful squads. Now, that's a big swing, isn't it, in the win probability? It's, even though they're 2 sets to 1 up, it's still predicting Italy only 51% favourites. But they don't really want to go to the dice shoot of a race to 15, do they? They'd love to do it in 4.
That will be their best chance if they can get it done. But in every set they've had the lead as well,
yeah.
so they've given themselves a chance to get it done in 3.
And in every set they've reached 25 because they lost the first set 27-25, 25-21, 25-21. And they have dealt with, it's a word we've used a lot, they've dealt with the emotion incredibly well.
It's as much of a positive for the team coming into an environment like this that it's not your fans as it is for the players that are, because it just gives you an incentive to keep them quiet. And if they do shout, you got nothing. And for those people, England-Scotland as a volleyball contest wasn't really much of a contest, but when you went to Scotland, it was packed.
Yeah.
And so they didn't care. Scotland knew they were probably going to lose. Teams knew they're probably going to lose, so they just took every opportunity to make as much noise as they could when they do win a point.
This is interesting. Türkiye, 67% in, 33% out. Italy, it's not always been aggressive serving, but it's made Türkiye play. 92% of the serves have been in.
Yeah, they've not been underarm serves, so
yes.
They have been aggressive, and that's the key thing. And that's another thing as well, when the coach says to you, right, we're going to go out, I don't want any mistakes. So you start digging it over and sending underarm serves in when you get beat 25-3, you're like, wasn't quite what I meant. But that's incredible. That's the consistency that you're going to have if you're going to squeeze anything out of Türkiye.
Yeah, Bozzetti, she's taken a lot of sets. She's accumulated 9 points. Vargas, top of the charts, 26 points for her. Antropova, 21. Those two, the dominant forces in this game, in most games, to be honest. 2 world-class players. Türkiye, 2-1 down. Kalac will serve first. No Karakurt at the start of this set. It is set 4 underway. Antropova, off the hands of Bozzetti, stood still.
You don't need an invitation to play the ball, and there are no innocent bystanders either on the court. Someone's got to make a move. Everyone was looking for somebody else.
Kalac. Better pass in from De Gradi this time. Antropova with the tip, drops it on the 3 in a very different style to we usually see her drop it on the 3.
Everybody's back deep, expecting the big swing to come. It's a great place to put it as well, because Kalac is on and not Erge.
Antropova serving for the first time in the set. Lovely pass. And Vargas.
It's the fact there's so much put into that it's coming off the block, and it's got a ridiculous spin, but not even a top spin. This has got a side spin, which you don't often get, so trying to then deal with that, and you can see it's just like pinballed off.
Here is Vargas serving. Big effort put into that one. De Gradi to Cambi. Bozzetti. Erge, the useful touch. De Gradi's there, back court. Nice touch by Gunesh, but another chance here for De Gradi to come from deep.
A nice change-up from Italy using the pipe.
Two. Bozzetti. Going after ID. And that's why they've set themselves up with a chance here. And it's a chance that De Gradi converts.
It's always good to go after the front court swing. You're overloading them, you're giving them 2 things to do. One, they've got to pass, then they've got to get out, get ready to hit. It might not be the best ball in. And Italy have taken full advantage of De Gradi's system. It's like all or nothing at the moment.
She moves up to 12 points, 11 of those from attacks. Bozzetti Goes after Aydin again, and they go to the middle, and Gunesh.
Velasco saying that was out, he's being told it's in. And he's right on the line. But he can't, there's no challenge for that.
You can't buy him anymore. He's been in the game for so long. I bet he's bought hundreds of points over the years. With his good acting skills, as Versino feeds that, and it is all or nothing from De Gradi at the moment. She converts again.
And the more she keeps doing that as well, the more she keeps coming in on that play, the block gets the defense gets it wider. It just opens up opportunities for them to hit the little roller, to put a little tip ball in. But if it's there to be hit, she'll certainly do that.
That's not a great pass. Not a bad recovery. Oh, and Camby. She's not.
Well, she thought there was a net touch by Özbay. She played or they defended the ball, and she was asking for the coach to call it a challenge, but Velasco's like, no, just play on. Well, I'll tell you what, there was, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Turkey get away with that.
They get away with it because Vargas picked up the point, 4-4. That is top draw from Carlotta Camby.
I think she just turned her wrist 360 degrees pretty much to play that.
Like an owl's head.
Yes. But you've got to see this. You've got to see where is her hand, and it's her palm's facing her, so it's going to be going behind.
A service! Carlotta Camby. First the magic touch, then the magic serve. Couple of points for the setter. Vargas, the hang time, great. The swing doesn't lead to a point, neither does that one. Good cover by Vargas. And good cover by Italy too. Antropova swings as far as Urge. Özbay, Vargas, huge block by Daniesi.
These are big early points for Italy, just stretching away and causing problems for Türkiye. That means they're playing catch-up volleyball from the get-go here. Lovely block, Daniesi.
Three blocks. In fact, she's got attack, block, and serve points tonight. Daniesi. Vargas really misses two in a row.
And it's in her rhythm when she's able to get those steps to the ball and get her hips under and through like that. You can see how she creates that ability to then just whip through it.
Rossetti, De Gradi, lovely angle. She's had a fabulous fourth set so far.
Just stops on that one, nice high contact. Able to drop it short as a result. Defense can't read it.
To the middle, Daniesi gets a touch on that from Kalash.
That's the 4 touches because it came back off of the head and Özbay didn't read that. Kalash went and had the swing, it was blocked and it came back off her head below the net. So that was touch number 1.
Timeout called. Türkiye in trouble.
Watch out, now she serves short, okay? Okay, girls, I don't want easy solution. Now you attack strong and high every time. No tip, no power tape, you attack strong. And girls, we can push more, never easy serve. Now I told you about the target, okay? We serve here, okay? We serve here, not easy in this way, okay? It's clear? Come on, girls.
But Türkiye with it all to do. They're 2-1 down in sets. They're 9-5 down in points. And this all-star cast is not intimidating this Italian team at all. Of course, you mentioned the fact there are so many great Italian players missing, but those who are here will be seeing this as an opportunity to put their hands up and earn their go at the big dance. That's a nice swing, though, from Tuba.
Versino's trying to make out like it didn't touch her. Actually got both hands on it as it went out. You do look at who they don't have. Lubian, Deschinado, Oro, Pietrini, Nwakolo, Silic, Gonu, Far. Not here.
Serious talent. Daniesi squeezes it through, it was tight.
Camby's done a really good job, been really aggressive with her setting. If the middle's available, she has a little look, knows what's going on, and that's on a place right between the two blockers as well. Such a good set.
10-6. Vargas. Oh, they blocked her again. Yasmina Akrari.
Vargas wasn't quite expecting that one, and she's drifted in and then realised she's got to do something. It's kind of like, oh, I'm not getting that. Oh, no, I am. And then there's really nowhere for her to go.
Here comes Karakurt. They've got them both on the court. The option is Vargas, and the result is positive.
Camby's waiting on that angle, and it's still so quick. She can't react quickly enough from the swing Vargas has. Watch Camby, top left.
Well, the crowd have found their voices too, but that service goes long. Just as they're getting some momentum. Just something to puncture the tyres. Vargas up to 30. She's having quite the night, as is Antropova, who's at the service line. Oh, over the shoulder from Erge on the second ball. Lovely jump set, tucked away by Akrari. That is class.
Someone's been watching Ginelli play.
Yeah. Oh, Türkiye, right under the pump. They call the timeout, it's 13-7.
How many times I need to repeat the same? This is so important. She plays so many times. We jump on setter and then we are in late there. You are 2 meters, stay there and you touch this ball. Come on, we know that there is here one good serve. We pass the ball, ready everyone to put the ball across the net and we attack strong. But then on the ball...
It's like bad lip reading, that, wasn't it?
Let's take another look at this then. It was over on the second ball. Watch Camby. Yeah.
It's a team full of confidence. And it's that's not an easy set to make at all.
Six points for Carlotta Camby. That's setter this evening. That is a good return. Karakurt. Casino. Oh, they are purring.
These are career best performances going on here right now from these players on court for Italy. And Camby, for me, would be my MVP if it carries on like this. She's dictated the play so well and who she's gone to and when she's gone to them.
Gunesh out, Arici in. Jajibasi middle. Good pass from Karakurt and a good impact from Arici. Back in the mix, Arici. Been involved in the VNL since 2018. Shows that the door's always open for quality operators. Camby straight to the middle, uses Akrari. She's got it on a string, hasn't she?
She can't miss. She's in rhythm with her attackers. She's getting good looks at what's going on. You can feel exactly what was happening with Akrari coming around by her.
Bossetti. Overpassed. Oh, blocked. That could have been fun. That was fun. That's a big old block. That's a big impact for Origi. One swing, one block.
Zagradi's having a little smile because that was going out, but she couldn't get out of the way. Wonderful defense from Antropova watching that one and making the cover. It was on its way out, but it's at what point Türkiye take it?
Here comes Karakurt. Just the 5 points this evening, a little bit less involved. Really been allowed to rev the engine tonight, has she?
Both Karakurt, Vargas in the back row here. So that's good for Italy.
Well, especially when they've both got a touch on it. Big chance for another break point.
Yes.
Taken.
That's so good. So good from Cambi again. Because you've got everyone spread wide. You've got the slide coming. And she's just picked the space in between the blockers.
Vargas. Needed that. And they need some more.
The reaction of Mantrapova is not one of frustration, it's one of like, I almost got that.
Look at that, 3'6". She gets up, stays up, and does the damage. Oh, now then, De Gradi and Bossetti. One of you has to go for it.
That's a byproduct of the confidence they've got. Both went for it, and then because they're both on the same shoulder line and went for it, they both then backed off it. You've got to stagger your pass, one slightly in front of the other.
11-17, still a long way to go for Türkiye. Better from De Gradi. Cambi goes searching, De Gradi goes swinging.
That time she kept her balance, so as she get the block out, it goes past her, doesn't catch her.
Follow to Cambi. Karakurt with the pass. No way through. What can De Gradi do? Only get it as far as Tuba. Vargas. Oh, Daniesi. Daniesi, Daniesi, Daniesi.
Fabulous block from Daniesi. Again, just watch her movement. She's on this. She lines it up. With help from De Gradi as well, so that the gap's closed.
Cambi into Karakurt. Over on the second ball. De Gradi can go again. Karakurt is back court, trying to find a way to get her in the game, but they don't need to, and Vargas swings like that.
But it's 1 from 2 for Vargas, which is why we got this huge lead that Italy have. They've done a stellar job so far.
To get themselves in this position where the changes come again, Sahin out, Ojbay in, so to be 2-1 up and 19-12 up, whilst Vargas has accumulated 32 points. Shows the job they've done of neutralising the rest of the team.
It really has. They're getting them out of system so much, they're having to go to Vargas.
Daniesi, she's rising as well.
So you got, just looking at the middle attackers, in terms of points that they're scoring, and you know, Danesi's the 4th best scorer. Where's the next best scorer for Türkiye through the middle?
Ganesh on 5.
So 10th.
That goes long. Well, that's it, isn't it? You look at the spread, you've got Antropova 22, De Gradi 16, Daniesi 10, Bossetti 9, Akrari 9, Cambi 7, Vargas 32, Ivagin 6, Gunesh 5, Karakurt 5. She was carrying the weight of this team, but oh, they've still got a few big plays. If they can get some momentum here, it might be a nervy end to the set. Italy call the timeout with Türkiye starting to build.
Il muro c'è di sicuro, dove passiamo lì? Lì alto, se abbiamo il muro a 1 è un'altra cosa, ok?
Noi ragazzi!
Non perdiamo lucidità su queste cose, non perdiamo lucidità sulla copertura anche della ultima, ok? Se rimbalza, ci siamo, ok? E le posizioni di difesa, però poi andiamo a cercare questa palla, dobbiamo chiudere la partita con una difesa su Vargas, una difesa su Vargas, andiamo!
14-20, it has been 7 points to 7 since the last time out, but side-out volleyball not good enough to Türkiye. Persino passes. Oh, great work by Erge. She has played out of her skin tonight, very often in a losing cause. Oh, touched down the line by Bozzetti, clever swing.
Calm, cool, collected Katerina.
And sometimes that's what you need, isn't it? Because everyone's so tense and there's so much expectation every time the ball's in the air. You can totally relieve that by just finding a little calmness. Staniesi flirts with that service line again.
It's like that meme going around where it looks like they're not touching the floor as they walk around.
Yes, yeah.
I'm sure she's doing that. But bringing Osbay off the net, making it tricky and really stretching Vargas to bring out the absolute best in her to get these side outs for Türkiye.
Bringing in high catch to serve. Libero by trade.
Well, I'm not surprised at that. How many times has Aykaç serving this season? Maybe a couple of times in training. Probably the most she's served will be here in training with the national team, knowing she's playing this role.
Well, even the Boos don't have the same belief that they had in the first couple of sets.
Nope.
It's another sensational service from the brilliant Ekaterina Antropova. She's registered as having 5 ace serves, but there are more points off the serve than that. Those who've been overpassed on the return, those who've had a couple of touches and gone down. I mean, that one's into the net, but surely this one's done as a contest.
2 points required, 2 side outs needed. What can Vargas do?
Needs a miracle. It's a good first touch by Bozzetti. But a brilliant block. It's going to take a lot more than that, though. Italy, 2 points away from an outstanding victory in the performance, arguably, of the tournament so far. Oh, Bozzetti cooks one, and it is match point Italy. Coming into this week, we wondered if Türkiye would sweep all before them, but Japan totally outplayed them. They dropped a set against the Netherlands, and now they're on the brink of being totally outclassed by Italy. 24-17, match point. Karakurt with a tip and a bit of composure herself. They are hanging by a fibre on a thread.
6 serves from Karakurt required to get level.
Sounds easy when you say it like that. Karakurt to stay in the match. (24-18). Here we go. Oh, Vargas is there. This needs to drop. Tuba finds a touch. That's 2 match points saved.
Lovely ball in. Just not quite the connection that time from Camby to Akrari in the middle. Otherwise, it would have been all over.
19-24. Another match point. Another good ball in. Oh, just punch back court. Vargas with the tip. Versino gets there. Antropova through the hands, and Italy's quest for the Paris Olympic Games is one step closer. They have come to Antalya and upset Turkey, and they have done it in style. Italy